Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm going to replace the crankshaft position sensor on my 2011 Hyundai Santa Fe with the 3.5, 3.3 V6. Anyway, I tried to do this the other day. I got the wrong part. The part that you need does not have a wiring harness on it. I'll show it to you here. This is supposed to be the right one. It's just a short, stubby sensor. The wiring harness clips right on the end. The other one had about a 6 or 8 inch wiring harness on it. It was the wrong one. So I should have started filming this when I first started, but I forgot. First thing I did was I took off the snorkel for the air breather. It's got 3 screws. They're little clips. You unscrew the center, then it'll pop out. There's 3 of those. 1, 2, and 3. And it just sits down here in this hole. Now, the sensor is underneath these 2 radiator hoses. It's kind of about impossible to see from the top. Next thing I did is I taken out the battery. Now it's got a holder that goes down in here, and it's a 12 millimeter, and the brackets to hold the battery the cables are 10 millimeter. So I unscrewed those, took those off. Now I'm getting ready to pull the battery out of the way. When I attempted this the other day, there's not a lot of room, so I went ahead and took the tray that the battery sits on. It's pretty easy too. So let me get the battery out of here, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I got the battery out. I hate lifting batteries without a handle. They're just heavy and awkward. Anyway, as you can see, this has got 4. I'm pretty sure they're 12 millimeter. I guess I have my 12 millimeter hooked up. I don't even think I had that one down in where it belongs. Anyway, you take out those 4 bolts. Pretty easy. Then you got to switch back to your 10 millimeter. There's a bolt here, another one over there. Take those out, and then this tray will just come up out of there. So let me get that done. Okay, there's the tray. Once you pour those, take out those 4 bottom bolts, then those top 2 bolts, pull the bolts all the way out. Then the tray will come out of there. Now, I parked this the opposite direction that I did the other day, hoping a little sunlight might help. Right down here is where that sensor is. You can barely see it down there. And that's a 10 millimeter, I guess. So I'm going to see if I can't get a wrench down in there. In this case, I'm going to use my 1/4 inch drive ratchet and put a 10 millimeter on there. If that won't work, I'll have to get out my 10 millimeter wrench sitting there. See if I can get in there with that. Hopefully, it really helps having the sun on this side, because when I was parked the opposite direction, it was just a big shadow. At least now there's some light down there where I can see a little bit. So let's see if I can get that sensor out of there. Well, I ended up breaking the bolt loose with the open-end wrench. Well, I used the box end of it, but my socket it just kept slipping off. So I got it loose, then I just took it out by hand. And if you look down in there, you can see the hole where the bolt came out. Now I got to get that sensor out of there and unclip the wiring harness. Well, that was easy. It just popped right out of there. And it's got enough wiring harness on it, I can get it out here where I can see it, because I wasn't sure how it clipped on. So let me get that off there, and then I'll compare the 2 sensors. Hopefully they're the same. Well, it took some doing, but I got the wiring harness off. They look like they match, so I'm going to put it back in. The wiring harness has a blue clip on it. Yeah, it's supposed to slide to the side, but the end broke off. So between a pick, that little sharp pointy thing, and this little flat screwdriver, I was able to slide that blue clip over just enough, and then you push on this black tab here. Once the blue tab's out of the way, it just slips, clicks down, and unplugs pretty easy. It was just a booger getting that blue clip out of there. It's looking like there's a hose right there that goes to something that's not connected. I'll have to check that out further. I hope I didn't take it off earlier. Maybe I did. Anyway, let me get this new one on here, and it just drops right down. See if I can get the camera where you can see. It's hard for me to see what you're seeing with the camera there. Anyway, goes in that hole down there. Then the bolt goes in. It's pretty easy. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Well, I got the new one in there. See if you can see it down there. Getting it in and out is easy. It's getting the wire harness back on it. I could not get it to snap into place. So I pushed it in as far as I could and got it bolted in. I'm hoping that that works. So now I'm going to reverse the process and put the bottom plate in for the battery. And then put the battery in and put it all back together. And then I'm going to start it, see if it runs. So when you put it back together, the tray goes underneath these round grommets here. And then it's threaded so the bolt will go into there. So if you got the bottom four pretty well lined up, which you can see easy, should be able to just bolt it all back together. Not too bad. Okay, I have it buttoned back up. When you put these 3 screws in, you don't have to screw them in. Just take the outside grommet, put it down in the hole, take the part that's threaded, and just shove it into place. And it will lock in with the threads. Then when you take it out, you can unscrew it, of course. And I'm hoping this baby will start. Let's hop inside and see. I got all my tools out of the way, so I won't lose anything like I normally do. I'm looking at the top here. It almost looks like there's a cover missing. It's the threaded thing there and some holes. Maybe somebody took it off, never put it back on. Could have been me. Maybe it's laying over by my shed. All right, let's see if this bad boy will start. Now for me, I really didn't have a lot of trouble with it, except one day it died at the gas station. And the guy I bought it from said that it was hard starting, so they replaced spark plugs and I think the fuel pump and I don't know what else. Let's see what she does here. It's got a little bit of a rattle when it starts up, but hey, it started. Let's try that again. Yeah, starting good. Before, sometimes it'd take a couple seconds. So, it looks like I fixed my problem. As long as my wiring harness stays fastened to that sensor, we'll be alright. Now, I took the spark plugs out, checked them, and they did replace them. They're brand new. The battery's a year old. When you do this, if you take your battery out like I did, you might as well clean the terminals. I cleaned mine even though the battery's only a year old. But I'm hoping that fixes my problem and it doesn't just randomly shut off anymore and it's not hard to start. So if you guys are working on one of these or something similar, that's how you replace it. It's not too bad of a job. It'll take you about 30 minutes. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it if you would like it. You're welcome to subscribe. Now that the weather's warming up and I'm feeling better, I had COVID for about a month. Still coughing, but I wasn't too enthusiastic. But now I'm getting to feel better. So I'm going to make a video on changing the rear end fluid in this thing and probably the transaxle. And I'll make videos of that just in case somebody has one of these. It's pretty similar on most vehicles actually, but Once in a while you should do it. This has 150,000 miles, so first thing I'll do is check it, see if they've changed the fluids. Probably not. Most people don't. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.